All right, good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? All right, appreciate it. Great to see all these amazing folks in the house. So glad you came out tonight. Give it up for DJ Burke. Yeah. So tonight is, the whole month of May is pretty special here for the Rialto Theater. They've been 10 years. 10 years they've been here supporting artistry. Yeah, give it up for the Rialto Theater. Nate Bale, Seth Bale. Really appreciate them able to do this event first Wednesday of every month. Sometimes looks a little bit different because it's a special event. We've made this night really big and I'm really excited for that. We brought in Verb. We brought in 3 features. They were all scheduled separately. Like they were going to be 3 different features, and then we decided we really wanted to bump this month up, and we brought them together. So you're in for a treat. These are all slam winning poets that you're going to see tonight. We got serious talent in the room. So we're going to do, you're going to hear from each of them for one poem in a rotation to start, and then we're going to do a few voices on the open mic, and then we're going to have one of them feature, and then we'll do a few more open mic voices and another feature. If there's more open mic, we'll hit that, and then we'll close with the last of the 3 features. How's that sound? All right. I will introduce them later when they come up, but this time, let's give it up for the 3 amazing features we have here tonight.
One of the only things me and my mama got in common is we both ain't never been loved. My mother gave all her woman away to men who talked a good game but never walked one. See, she fell in love for fun. She loved on purpose but always ended up hurt by accident because she sang love to men who had deaf ears, painted love for men who were colorblind. She wrote poetry for men who would never read between the lines. See, I watched my mother love men for a living just to never get paid. Made a home for a man, but only ever ended up getting laid because the only place men occupied was her bed. My own father soaked up my mama's high yellow skin like she was sunshine, told her sweet lies, and was always her saddest goodbye. She hugged him in the day and let him go in the nights as he went to the home created by his wife. I'm saying I watched my mother share my father with another woman. My mother, an only child, who ain't never have to share a house, a toy, or a meal, but somehow she learns how to share a man. My mama ain't never been kept. And me, I ain't never found a man I wanted to keep. Maybe it's because my first room was the womb inside of my mother's stomach, and I came into this world with her hurt. That's why I see so much of me in her, because much like her, I've held hands with men who didn't possess loving arms. I've loved men who only caused me harm, saw men as a project, something I could build, saw them as a garden, something I could grow when they only saw me as a possession, something they could hold. I've watched men fall to their knees in an effort to crawl inside of me, and then somehow my ears grew to love the sound of a man lying to me, hoping he would see some type of light inside of me and finally allow me to be close to him. But the only time a man listened to me is when I moaned for him. Because unlike my body, my mind always seemed a bit too heavy for a man to hold. And then much like my mother, I began to sing love for men who had deaf ears. I painted love for men who were colorblind. I wrote poetry for men who was never going to read between the lines. I know the sting of a man's neglect, because just like my mama, I ain't never been kept. Men walked through me as if I was a living room. Yet my body became a glass house, and I still threw stones at my mother for the way she loved my father, just for me to end up loving men who were exactly like my father, forgiving them before an apology left their mouth, the same way my mother forgave my father. It seems funny that I judged my mother for the love she settled for, but I never once judged my father for the love he gave. Maybe that's why my love life is a reflection of the bed my parents made. Because of my mother, I love men endlessly, and because of my father, I give them the best parts of me, only to end up empty, because one of the only things me and my mama got in common is we both ain't never been loved.
I can't just go without greeting, okay? Hello, how are y'all doing? All right, I'm gonna do a poem for y'all. Y'all cool? All right. Ever since I was a child, I have always felt the need to fix things. I carried my heart around like a toolbox. My emotions became a screwdriver, twisting and turning to help someone else's brokenness, ultimately to satisfy my own. I used band-aids of affection to patch together the wounds I did not bruise. I glued pieces of your stories to my back just to let the world know I had yours. How did I find myself back here? Stuck in the remnant of my own toxic ways, building upon a foundation with no real estate of substance. As I walked next to you, the ground shook. I could feel the vibration beneath my feet, but I ignored every red flag. I dismissed every slap in the face. Out of curiosity, I wanted to see if fixing you would somehow heal me, and you became just another art project of mine. A blank canvas craving some color, so I blindly dipped my brush in what I thought you needed. I gave you palette knife layers in ways you can still talk about to this day, but I'm sure I also damaged a few edges along the way. Because I impaled this anime character into a realism portrait, watched how the structure of the frame became manipulated. At the very beginning it slouched, it was unleveled, the composition was, well, lopsided. You see, I was trying to paint you perfect for me, but oils and acrylics don't mix. The drying time is different. Yeah. The perspective was missing. Our souls together were extremely resistant, and because of history, I forced it. I hung you high on hooks anyway. Command stripped you down in hopes for stability. I put you on display for everyone to admire the masterpiece of trauma I felt I created. To be elated at sold-out art shows, to push your gift in ways you did not push yourself. You were a muse of silent abuse with nothing physical to prove it, and I saw a future with only potential to improve it. Every morning, like coffee, I brewed it. Not too dark, a spoon of cream with a little bit of honey to move it. I was trying to blend you for me, and still, that shit was not sweet. Which is why this loyalty was so easy for you. You see, the canvas owes nothing to the artist. On its easel, it just sits and waits for an opportunity to be serenaded. It didn't matter how much we believed we cared about each other. Our flaws clashed like a battle, taunting and raving, picking at each other's insecurities like old scabs. Lord knows I've had my fair share of imperfect moments, but I owned them like my LLC. I was the sole proprietor of my shit. And I never shit where I ate, and I never gave one up to a bum chick who was a fan from my page, because my loyalty was a badge of honor. I was the most decorated soldier in your circle. I stood in formation at attention for longer than my knees could bear, and all you could say was, I didn't ask you to stand there. Damn! I gotta stop turning women into art projects, because art projects have deadlines, and when the show is over, the people go home, and I'm left alone to clean up the mess. That's on me. But I gave you murals, and all you gave to me was more reasons to heal.
It's a tough act to follow. Yeah, 1 and 2. I visited my friend's childhood home. Was greeted by a 90-year-old Haitian woman whose bones made more speeches than her mouth could. Her face held a knowing grin, as if heaven's gates was cradled between her palms. When no one looked, she prayed. When everyone looked, her praise stayed the same. Her knees, too craters from crashing the marble for decades now. She fears if she bends again, it'll be her last, so she stands. God is good, even though one of her grandsons was murdered a few weeks ago. Lived so long, she can almost recall before Western hands defiled praise. I've heard the saying before, but Creole crumbles in my mouth. Perhaps became baggage too heavy for my immigrant mother to bear. She grew up in the Bahamas, where being Haitian was the same as being criminal, being problem, being the American nigga. The U.S. became a melting pot to scorch her difference away. I used to speak Spanish fluently. had an accent as thick as my grandfather's calluses. It got lost somewhere between divorce and white schools. My father's parents crossed the Atlantic in search for a better life. They found Newark, New Jersey, where the cockroaches are so big they get mistaken for one of the many grandchildren. Sirens fade out the merengue. Steel drums overpowered by handheld steel must learn. A new percussion my grandfather prays. Praise to the saints. Bendiciones. I know what it means, but I can't quite grasp the language. I lost Christianity. Somewhere between white schools and black boys' names fading into cement. I lost God's voice. His accent became an awkward southern dialect. Much like the Klan's members who hung us on trees. A Spaniard Spanish, unsoiled by the black and brown that runs through our veins of French, unbastardized by our African tongues. God got lost somewhere between the transatlantic and having everything wholly beaten out of us. I want to know of the Orisha my ancestors praised, to let Yoruba yodel through my teeth for English, to become as awkward as my Spanish and Creole. Ashe, Ashe Olarum. Let it be so, God, the God that my ancestors knew before their praise was suffocated by ivory palms. Let them understand, despite my Yoruba being painfully American, too close to the devil that murdered their holy. Ashe, Ashe Olarum. Let it be a riot where the ground splits open my voice, a sanctuary for their spirits to dance. We'll speak in tongues, no Tower of Babel. It'll be a Pentecostal reunion. The heavens hear us. Bendiciones. The ancestors will rise. Ashe, Ashe Olarum. We're taking back everything they stole. Thank you.
Damn. Right? Wow. What a way to start this. Let's give it up for our three features. We're going to hear from each of them in a little longer sets here in a little bit. But we're going to start some open mic voices up here as well. So please welcome first to the open mic. You good? Please welcome first to the open mic, Rebekah Miller.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Before I start this piece, I want to say that it was born from a moment of deep fear, a moment from when everything in me wanted to fight, to resist, to run. But instead, I heard something quiet and steady. It said, "Trust in me." And when I did, something changed. What follows is a journey that unfolded, one of surrender, awakening, and rising of the dragon within me, the dragon's journey. Trust in me. Violently I am grabbed. I fight and struggle against the increasing, violent, enduring crowd. In the midst of my resistance, I receive a vision. My Creator appears to me and says, "Trust in me." A cool stream of love washes over me, cloaking me in peace. I am half carried and half pulled to the top of the dusty hill. Friends and family beg me to fight, but I never worry. Hatred and bigotry will never prevail over love. Ahead I see a roughly hewn cross, waiting my arrival. Forcefully I am placed on the cross, my arms stretched to their fullest. I feel the cold point of the large nail pressed against my palm. I look towards heaven. An ear-splitting screech sounds at the base of the hill. A dragon moves hastily towards me, leaving a trail of dust and bodies in its wake. My persecutors retreat. Family and friends surround me. Loving hands greet me from the splintery wood. Years later, at a UU pagan group in Worcester, a woman who seemed deeply connected to spiritual traditions kept staring at me. Finally she said, "Do you know you have a guardian dragon that always is around you? It is a protector, a guide. I had never considered having any sort of guide before. Now I embrace it. Dragon of love." I speak this, calling to me the dragon spirit, the same spirit that bolstered my courage, raising me in my darkest hour, the courage for truth and authenticity, igniting shadows, laying bare the skeletons of forgotten lives, obsidian claws that slash the blinding veils, a billowing breath that dissolves heavy dimensional chains, negating negative energies in its glittery emerald fire, a word that guides those from the darkness, a heart that manifests love with every beat. These are the weapons of light, the weapons of the dragon, the weapons I manifest, reflecting scales that compel peace, an aura of love. In his presence, all succumb to joy. There's no defense, no fighting, no resisting. Death to the denser self. That's its gift. This is the power of a dragon, the power I manifest. Its path is unmistakable. A bright swath cleanses the dark land to pure light. Its influence spreads, lifting the shredded veil. Its power grows with its spread. A treasure hoard of souls rejoice in its wake. This is the life of the dragon, the life I am. Not only do I embrace this, I embrace it for all. I am. Slowly I enter my body. For eons I've rested. I stretch my stone-like body. My scales scrape against the walls. Sandy clouds form around me. Ancient lungs bellow into existence, clearing the cavern with its release. I open my eyes and they burn a fiery emerald. A deep breath rises within me. My eyes close with its release. A green cloud bellows forth, engulfing me. I feel the ancient bonds fall free. I rise and separate from Gaia. Iridescent scales shimmer my length. Peace lays upon all that view me. A rhythmic pulsing emanates from my core. I feel its power. With each beat, its energy spreads, healing and raising all. I tear through the dark veil covering the earth. The heavy thread is no match for my obsidian claws. Truth is laid bare, opening the eyes of all. In my passing, the earth is healed from the desecration of darkness, purified by love and light. Mother Earth is lifted out of the heaviness, separated. The reign of love is upon us. Rise, children of soul, priestesses and warriors of the moon. It is your time. Hold your positions through the fierceness of your heart. This is your shield and weapon. Sophia's love envelops Gaia, raising all that resonate in its energy. We ascend through the wisdom of our hearts, carrying the power of the dragon, the power of love. Together we rise, together we are whole.
All right.
Let's do one more on the open mic now, and then we're going to move into one of our features, and then we'll do some more open mic after the first feature. Please welcome to the mic another regular here at Angry Cow. Please welcome Ed Amann.
Evening, y'all. This is going to go by really fast, so I'm just going to talk just a minute. I want to thank DJ Verb for playing Mavis. This I wrote right on the spot. I think I can read my handwriting. When darkness presses harshly and it feels like you should fear, in your heart you can't accept the end. You must hold your loved ones near. Remember what Miss Mavis said. The truth is you are not alone. A little love gets quite a ways. It's a truth that should be known.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Ed Amann. So we're going to bring up one of our features next, and then we'll have a little bit of break, let her play some music, and then we'll return to the open mic and another feature. I have seen Silent Night perform many times at this point in time. I've seen you perform in slams. I've seen you perform at open mics. I was lucky enough to judge a slam that Silent Night was performing at up in Cleveland, and he won unanimously. It was all of his decision. Like, yes, yeah, he just was amazing that night. He's always amazing. I'm really excited to have him here. Please welcome to the mic, Silent Night.
I don't know how amazing I'll be tonight. So I just finished my graduate program, my master's. I had to write a 100-page thesis, so I was, cramming for a 100-page thesis is kind of different than cramming for a 10-page paper. So, yeah, I'm gonna. We'll get some stuff done though. All right, I'm gonna share mostly new poems or poems I haven't really shared that much. My father's side has the artist team. My uncle swore they'd be the next Red Man. Had the cornrows to match, said matches and notebooks, spit pain like raps that saved them, saying, we made this music our piece of mind state. My face a bit in time for a crime he didn't make. Meditated so sublime how we always finish last in this human race. Human hate got me questioning their face already late. So we wait every day for them heaven gates. Hell can wait cause we already living in it in the NJ. My father is a singer. He carries his mother's voice. She was his favorite parent since granddad was married to the factory. Karaoke open mics became father's holy place. I saw him live for the first time this Christmas, and I don't mean to sound like a kid hyping his pops, but damn, he was good. Started floating, going to that place where artists go. Let go of everything he's been holding since childhood with the crackle of his voice. I get the same feeling when I stand on poetry stages. I think my father could have been special if someone had mustard seed sized faith in him. Still sense the slight tremor of a kid told he wasn't good enough. Laughed at for wanting to be big. And I guess God plays jokes, because now my dad's just an overweight man who leaves a force of a father missing in my brother's lives every time he runs off with another woman. Stays late at work, the cycle continues. My grandfather was an artist too. His two fists became brushes to paint his son's bodies black and blue. So now, when uncle pretends to be okay, but too often drowned at the bottom of a bottle, he's sober now. Just harnesses rage at Planet Fitnesses, perhaps, wishing he sculpted his body into something grandfather couldn't break. The other uncle got so used to being canvas, he started painting his own body, a gory red where the syringe pumps his veins full of the love he never received. Father was the oldest, which meant life handed him the short end of the stick. But the long end of the belt. Too many nights, grandfather's favorite canvas. Each hit swallowed the next song. Iron knuckles became mallets, chiseling dad into grandfather's greatest prodigy. The cycle continues. My brother inherited this artist gene. I asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up. He said anything besides our father. Says he's done drawing. Wants to start boxing instead. To shade his opponents a gory red. He wishes he could, our pops, and I tried to tell him. Giving bruises don't make you a man. It makes you a monster. It don't matter how many knockouts you get. There is no winner. Just a broken boy clamoring for anything to fill his father's absence. Brother, please, open your fists. Lay your pain on this canvas. Bleed onto pages. Write the life you wish you had. Be the man you needed. Break generational curses with the power of your pen. Write, draw, create, do anything, but please, don't let them beat the artist out of you. The cycle is breaking. Thank you. I'm going to read this short one that I wrote for my mom. She'll never hear it because she's very, very, very religious. So, most days I feel there is no one in the sky. A vast emptiness in which we shoot signals to a selective listener, a part-time problem solver. Just look around us. The children push to past tense before they get a chance to know what the present was. The pigs praying to a God who answers every call to send us to grave. The K's spraying, the church clapping, the bombs making it a terrifying percussive ensemble. But then I remember you, holding the heavens while everything under tries to put you 6 feet beneath, born of the womb. But since conception, we've been trying to tear you apart, part abdomen like seas with hospital staff, sometimes losing life on birthing bed. How ironic. Give and give and give, wishing well for no change, because shackles be our repayment. Be binded by the same bodies you nursed when we fell, and oh, how we sinners fell, failing to live up to your glory, and God Almighty's face is hidden but shown through you. No wonder we thirst for miracles, then leave you beaten and betrayed for Benjamins. And when we become big boys, make you outcast in the world you created. See, we made God in our image, full of testosterone and holy bravado, bringing fire and brimstone to those who turn their back. But she looks more like you. When I forget God exists, Mom, I think of you.
Yeah.
I can't pretend to understand the struggles of a black girl, but I will tell you, every day your coils are a sign of God. Jesus walked with the same naps they tell you to hide. I was an unbeliever until I saw your face. So full of radiance, you are all the proof I need of the divine. And sometimes I feel too sinful to look at you, unworthy to hold a goddess in between my arms. I don't know how someone so flawed can make something so perfect. Impervious to all daddy's shortcomings, you are so much like Mommy, who is everything right in this world while daddy is everything broken. You have your mother's smile. A smile so hard your gums tell of a joy that can't be contained. Don't let anyone contain your joyous skin. Kissed by the sun, you will soon learn that even your own people are jealous of how the sun wrapped its arms around you. They'll call you charred, burnt. But Jesus had skin of fine brass as if it were burned in a furnace. When you grow up, you will mistake me for some superhero. But baby girl, I can't protect you from this world because it's been trying to kill me too. I don't know which one of our funerals will be first, but I fear if you die, you will become forgotten like Kia Boyd, Danette Daniels, Crystal Ragland, Melissa Williams, Margaret Mitchell, Takaya Young, Sonia Massey. Soon, all will be forgotten. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I want you to be immortal. I wish you didn't have to be resilient. Rich white girls have nothing to be resilient about. Strength is only proven when someone is trying to break you. I don't want to see how strong you are. Just stay right here. In between my arms, I refuse to give you the world. You are a star too big for this solar system, so I will give you the galaxy. They may call you spoiled rotten, but how could I not give you everything you ask for when the rest of your life they will take from you? Even after death, your body will be used for medical research, though doctors will never listen to you while living, and you will become mother to the next black generation. But even your own sons will betray you, leave you to die. I don't know how to keep you from being broken. So for now, I will just hold you close. Try to be the father mommy and daddy never got to have. Show you all the love in the universe. Stay daddy's little girl. Just a bit longer. This next one is called Coach. I grew up a stray note in a symphony of blue irises. My black, too pretty, their eyes searing through my skin. I was a blaring saxophonist in a string ensemble. I played the same notes, but my sound never fully blended. All that jazz jiving in my bones, too beautiful for their arrangements. Classrooms were coffins for boys my hue, so I ran to spaces joy couldn't be buried. I found rhythm, found breath, found life at basketball courts, moving with the fluidity of an Ornette Coleman solo. Strange, untamed, free. 4/4 bars couldn't hold me. I moved how I pleased, but every great soloist has his band, and every stray note wants a composition to belong to. In 6th grade, I tried out for the basketball team. Coach was also a saxophonist with a name too close to mine to be coincidence. The kids would question if he was kin. But his jazz, a pale blue, washed of its roots, learned how to force his instrument into their orchestra. His best friend, his wife, a piercing white, the same color as his sharpened molars, black, too beautiful to be in his vicinity. In 11th grade, one of my white classmates showed up to boarding school in the middle of who knows where. Coach never became close to me, but developed a strong relationship with this classmate. That's how it always starts. Coach, a mentor, a man who listens just enough to fill himself into the cracks. He learned the perfect timbre, so smooth they didn't notice the venom on his fangs, too preoccupied with his black. Never noticed the puddle forming in his mouth at their sight, and his eyes, containing an abyss where his victims' souls dwelled. When the judges asked him about the boys he crinkled into mental caskets, he took a breath. He smiled. His responses slick with ease, like every string his to pluck. A slap in the face to boastful parents forgetting colorblindness doesn't stop a monster. It just becomes camouflage. He never touched me. My black, too radiant, too beautiful, too pretty. For once, what made me pray made me untouchable. And yet, no peace comes from being the one left unscathed. I'm going to try this last piece. This is one of my most vulnerable pieces, so hopefully I can get through it.
You got it.
You got it, poet.
One of my favorites of the time.
Oh, it's a different one. I know it's been so hard and you don't know what it all means. and don't you ever let go. And don't you ever let go. And there's a reason you're still standing after all these years. And don't you ever let go. And don't you ever let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. And don't you ever let go. And don't you ever let go. Go down the street and take a right. Go to the second floor. The front door was left open, so no need to disturb the neighbors. Silence and I have become intimate lovers, so you won't find a bullet through my shattered temporal bone. Noise is a terrible temptress, telling me to scream, shout, let anyone know. But see, I'm married to somewhat of a sociopath. Anytime I so much as glimpse at someone else, silence sucks the thought out of my synapses. I used to find her repulsive. When I was a child, my mind ran rampant with questions. I wondered why the sky cries profusely, why we trample the dirt we come from. If God, silence, and I were in a love triangle, my mother swatted my questions like mosquitoes, as if they carried malaria, leaving my lips when I was 7. I went to all-white schools that taught me boys my complexion don't deserve to speak. Matter of fact, when I was 12, Trayvon Martin taught me black was synonymous for bullet bag. That same year, Jordan Davis got killed for music on blast. And if I didn't want my family breaking bread at my repast, I had to learn how to hold my breath, to treat the air as something to savor. You know, they say it takes about 3 minutes without breathing for the oxygen to stop reaching your brain, so hold it in just a bit longer. When I was 15, I learned that God had his favorites. Unarmed black men turned to ash while Dylan Roof still lets oxygen slither through his lungs. Why? Pray to your white savior. When I was 20, cops showed me they orchestrate an arranged marriage with silence. 9 minutes, their knees spoke vows to George Floyd's neck. When I was 22, I spent 3 minutes with a tie wrapped around my neck, hoping to consummate silence and I's marriage. I never called it an attempt. I hardly told anyone about it. We planned to pretend like it never happened, to keep it permanently lodged in my throat. But it did happen, and now I'm trying to take my voice back by any means necessary. I won't be victim to her spell any longer. I'll make more noise than a DJ Kool Herc sound system. I'll rattle more than a 1984 Chevy engine. I'll scream until heaven split open. I don't care if the whole universe hears me. This is no longer a suicide letter, but my petition for divorce. Silence can't control me anymore. Thank you. If you want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, you can follow me at Silent Night Speaks with a K. Silent Night Speaks with a K. I'm also on Facebook. That's not really my generation's thing, though. Might be yours. No offense, no offense. I'm on there, but not really on there. But yes, my real name is Christian Contreras. You can follow me on Silent Night Speaks with a K on Instagram and TikTok.
All right.
Wow. Let's give it up one more time for Silent Night. I'm going to let this mic cool off for a little bit. We're going to take a little break here, let Verb play some music. Seth will get you drinks at the bar here around the corner. Nate's got food if you haven't found that yet. If it's your first time here, restrooms are down the hall to the left there. There's a merch table. We got flyers for upcoming events, both a monthly event, it's two-sided. Also on June 20th, we've got 11 features here. We're celebrating 3 years of doing this event on June. So Friday, June 20th, we're gonna have a big event back here too. Take a few minutes to chat, build community. Tell somebody you enjoyed something they brought to the event, whether that's poetry up on the mic, whether that's audience participation. It's a pleasure having you all here. We'll take a few minutes and we'll come back with a little more open mic and then get the second feature up. How y'all doing? All right, glad to hear it. I did have someone tell me that if Verb had a flash drive, digging what Verb's playing would buy the flash drive. And Verb tells me, not yet, but Verb's going to be back DJing for a big 3-year Angry Cow Poetry anniversary here June 20th. And word on the street is there will be one by then. So come back then and Verb will have something for you.
All right.
All right, next up to the open mic, we have one of my favorite hosts. Poetry Feen host at Lift Every Voices. It's an amazing event. You really should check it out if you're not already familiar with it. One of my favorite places to be at. Please welcome to the stage, Poetry Feen.
In the middle of taking a goddamn bite, you call my name. Shout out to the nachos in the house. If you ain't had the nachos goddamn good. As you said, I host open mic up in Cleveland called Lift Every Voice Open Mic. So if you're on social media, I need you to pull out your phone right now. If you've never seen my face, heard my voice, pull out your phone, go to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I don't know, you might even have an OnlyFans. Fuck it, find out. But put in Lift Every Voice Open Mic. No funny spellings, no hashtags, backspaces, periods, double doubles, with all of that shit. And then follow us and stay up to date. We do it the second and fourth Saturday of every month. Okay. I'm not a microphone user, but yeah.
It is with heavy heart that I regret to inform you that at whatever date and time you're hearing this poem, man has died. After centuries of fighting and losing battle, he finally succumbed to multiple ailments. First was asphyxiation. He swallowed his pride to ensure he didn't come off too cocky, even when each step he took led him to a destination worth desiring. Or it could have been choking down his emotions because he believed every tear that may drop would drop his proverbial stock. Also from not showing emotions like anger. Even when anger was the best response to the situation, because although it was provoked, it would also invoke the stereotype of him being nothing more than an angry black man. Second was heart attack. A 4-chambered organ that chambered more than just the rhythm of life. See, his heart broke when he realized happiness was to be attained for others before it can be attained for self. It broke again when the world told him, as good as you might be, there is always greater. Judgment will always be cast on where you could be, because where you are is in the past the moment after you arrive. Third break came from that bitch whose name we will not mention because, well, fuck her. Last break broke more than just his sleep pattern, which leads us to his third and final ailment, mental break. He found fragments of his mental state scattered along the road to recovery, only to realize that he may not be built for the world he may someday inherit. Casting aside his consciousness' most marvelous creation, his self-worth. Trading it in for net worth in hopes to avert his attention to from his lack of mental worth, because not only is that account empty, but the bank is out of business. It went broke from paying everyone else's overdraft fees, pulling from his bag with the endless bottom, not realizing that his bag had a hole in it. So he was actually sharing the waste of himself that ran over from the cups that he filled with other people that now runneth over. So here lies man, casket closed, because his will read, please don't let the world see me when I'm weak. His eulogy written in 2 Chainz lyrics. When I die, bury me inside a Gucci store, because he didn't want to accept that when he dies, he'll be buried in a grave alone. In passing, he leaves behind a wife or husband who hopes his life insurance will cover the lifestyle he worked himself to the bloody bone to afford. because his savings was drowned in good times. He never learned how to love without a full heart and an empty wallet, and his mate only saved memories. While he spent his time finding ways to afford to make more. His children, time, love, and affection were all created with the expectation of nurturing into the flowers of forever, but he never quite learned the water to sun ratio. So his reliance on artificial lights and an irrigation system regularly raining down video games and TV shows made them disconnected from reality. Also a host of friends, associates, and fakes who had filled this hall to say goodbye, but never showed up for a gathering in his honor to say hello. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, life to life. Here lies me, broken, hurt, and never able to say I love you.
All right.
All right, we're going to bring one more up to the open mic now before our next feature. I met the next poet to the open mic here at this event, I am pretty sure, but then I've seen him many, many times after that. We seem to cross paths a lot, which is great. I always love hearing his work. He just featured at Lift Every Voices not long ago, a week or two. Please welcome to the mic, Drae.
I just got a draft real quick that I've been working on. So yeah, we're gonna get into that real quick. Let's go. I've been searching for a therapist. So in the meantime, it's back to painting in paragraphs, staying in stanzas with sad stories, haunting horizontal lines, venting verses. I gotta mix my tears with ink, so it's a little watered down, so I gotta write with a little more intensity. My pen got a purpose. I break pens on purpose. My pen be a master way to strike the paper, but I won't be pinned down. 3, 2, 1. 3 therapists, 2 therapists, 1 therapist. I go through them all, losing a therapist to leave pissed. Pissed enough to want to piss on a therapist. Pissed enough to say that I ain't pissed enough. I'll be a toddler, one that ain't been potty trained, so you can't tell me shit. God been trying to tell me that I can't trust people, because people gonna let me down. And since God is up, he be raining down blessings like bombs, so I'll be searching for warheads, because people make me want to explode. People make me want to go against the 10 commandments. People make me want to put 10 in the clip and command men to get down. What's a bloody mess? What a bloody mess.
Come on.
What a bloody mess. I'm happy that we in the New Testament. The world be trying to test man, but y'all don't know my testimony. For 8 months, I was a patient. It took 8 months of patience, waiting on somebody to die so I could live. 8 months with tubes hanging out my body. I've been searching for a therapist. But an open mic will do just fine for now. Hold on.
All right.
If you want to see more of my work, you can go on Instagram. It's Drae, D-R-A, the number 8, D-A-Y. Thank y'all.
All right.
Gotta love somebody who loves what they do so much. Give it up for DJ Verb. All your following people on Instagram, Verb everywhere. We'll get you right to this guy behind me. Let's give it up one more time for Drae. Oh, I forgot. There we go. Give it up one more time for Drae Day. And that does a really nice job leading me into what I was going to say about our next feature. I met Artistic Genius in a slam. I'm pretty sure it's the first time. Memories sometimes like mingle what was first, but I think the very first time I heard you was Temple of Passion Slam. up at Mocha Museum. Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. You were there. And killed first round. Absolutely killed first round. And there were poets that I knew. Poets were part of the reason I showed up, because like I'm here supporting these folks. And there were poets I didn't know. And round two, like you saw with Drae, like all of us have done. Artistic genius lost the words. Like you didn't know where to go next. And one, it's real because we all do it. It happens. No matter how hard we not want to do that, we all lose words when we're trying to perform from memory. As seamless as this might seem to some of us sitting on the other side, like it's constant effort of bringing that next line to your brain. And you know, when you lose your words in a slam, you're pretty sure you're not moving on to the next round. But didn't win the slam, but you won a fan because you were the person that I walked away from like, I need to know this poet. I need to know what this poet's doing. I need to hear more of what I need to hear the rest of that damn poem. All of those things. And so it was just, may not have gone exactly how you wanted it to, but it was still really powerful work. Super excited to have this feature here as well. Please give it up for Artistic Genius!
So yeah, Artistic Genius, and I am from Youngstown, about 45 minutes from here if you don't know, but I live in Columbus right now, and I am a curator and host of a poetry show called Say Word Wednesdays. I am a project kid turned force to be reckoned with, a Renaissance black woman, award-winning poetess, paintbrush stroking, book writing genius. I am the creator of stories so metaphoric that I explore them when I dream. I am a seer of many things, a visionary art show having queen. I am the foundation of creation, the blueprint and the trend of what self-made means. I am beauty, I am light, I am love, I am peace, I am me. So consciously in tune, I am the sage that fills the room, the energy that shapes the moon, the nutrition that fills the spoon. I am what the world needs, whether it accepts me or not. I am the rebel with or without the cause. I am the one they call for inspiration. I am unbreakable, relatable, yet hella antisocial. Introverted for purpose, I am intentionally working more than what's on the surface. Rhyming, spitting verses, humble but never wordless. I am affirming myself because if I don't, who else will? Gotta brag on me because I'm dope syringe filled. I am that nigga and niggas, giving you lyrical bars you can only respect. I am not next, I am now. I am back and more better. Flow so cold you might need your sweater. I am forever the genius, the reason, the soul food seasoning. I am present, I am chose, I am whole, I am home, I am. Woo! Okay. So it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Did y'all know that? So in the spirit of that, some of my set is going to be about mental health. They don't go in any particular order. I am a poet who disrupts. I say what I feel, and I say what some people won't say. I feel like that about poets in general. I feel like we are just disruptors that, and we come to speak and say, say what's on our mind. But there are some times where we get inspiration from other people's stories and stories from our own lives. So so it's gonna be some sad shit. It's gonna be some sad shit, but also I feel like those poems really help people, because if we stop doing those poems, then who is helped? If we stop doing those poems, who heals? So so this poem I'm gonna start off with is called Lost Girl's Garden. My auntie had a garden outside of her home, but inside was a war zone. Her enemy of a husband beat her black and blue. Her tomatoes were as plump as her face. The vines oftentimes became the twine tied between her stability and her freedom. Yet she stayed. She still sprayed a water mist to convince her plants that they deserved to bloom, even if she didn't have the space to. My auntie had a garden that was well kept, and she fed that man living things from her blessed hands while he bruised her bare with his. But how could she leave that man who held a pension and sometimes moms even held his kids, those hands multifaceted, one to give the lashes and the other to grip a bottle of gin. He never confessed his sins, though he was Catholic, but he drank them with the quickness. He gave his liver the 40% he should have gave his family. Most people saw my auntie's garden and envied her life. They thought because her petals grew that she did too, thought because she had a man at work that she didn't have to. But every day was a job to survive, with an underpaid salary and a boss just waiting for a reason to fire her. Fire. 911, what's your emergency? How do I get help if my husband works for the company? If he wears the uniform that is supposed to protect and serve me? But those words only apply to the public and not the private crawl spaces I hide in fear. When I hear his keys jingling at the door, my heart sinking, hands clammy, my prayers to God shaky. Is it my fault that I stay? Because he is the devil that I know. But I'm afraid that if I don't go, I'll become a dusty case file for my babies to find. They'll appoint him as the officer in charge of finding the person who murdered me. Who are you on the phone with? Wait, I have to go. But if I come up missing, I need you to know that my husband did it. I'll leave a trail in the garden. My story will be embedded beneath the soil that I watered from start to finish. Make flowers out of my glory. Make a meal to feed my seeds. Let this be a museum for all to walk through and gaze at the art that I never got a chance to reveal. Heal another broken woman's heart with my herbs. Give her the aroma that I should have gave myself. Promise me to never close this garden of a lost girl. Let it bear the fruit of freedom that I was afraid to. All right. My mom is here, y'all. Shout out to my mom. Say hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. Can't be broke in this economy. Hell, can't be broken either. Because how you gonna pay homage to your trauma if you can't afford to? Bills come before your healing because when you got the time to. They say don't nobody want to hear another sad poem where you gonna get it. Because how can I heal if I don't talk about what should have killed me? Resiliency don't come from keeping secrets to make an audience comfortable. I ain't that soft-spoken poet easily digestible. You gonna need a Pepto to partake in this poem, but for now, here's a hashtag. Niggas die every day. So what? What make your nigga so special? Black boys been getting shot for years. There's a lineage of blood spilled in the potholes of the streets that ain't loved them like they mama did. Where I'm from, you be strong because it's gonna happen again. Ain't no room for grief when you too busy surviving. Ain't no space to process pain when your stomach screaming louder than your cries. I watched my mama make meals stretch like Pilates on Sunday. Had food stamps flipping like Pablo bricks. Dinner made from prayers and a black woman's touch. I seen her turn water into milk from powder. Thought she was Jehovah, she turned hope into hustle. Poverty into perseverance. She held us down while the world bullied us for not being fly. And my daddy used to whistle a song into the sky so my brother could run home before the street lights came on. Tried to give him a whooping before the world did, and it still couldn't save him. My brother, who once had a choir behind him, died as a solo, and I was the director of his funeral. This music, still pungent in my ears, has lost its genre. It's a mix of regrets and revenge, heavy like metal, slamming the softness out of my heart bang by bang. It was the first time I held a pistol and carried a visual of how I could do the same thing to make myself feel better. Hey, Brooklyn, do something that makes me feel better. Losing my soul in sacrificial thoughts, dreaming of letting hollow tips be the reason someone else's family feels as empty as mine. Because a body for a body seems like a fair price in this economy. Turns out I can't be broke And I can't be broken either. And you don't know death until it lives in the walls of your home, chills in the crevices of your bones so bad the marrow mistakes you for an imposter, poisoning your bloodstream, contaminating the goodness of who you used to be. And they say you changed like you had a choice. Nigga, I had to. It was either leave the nest or get tagged up, no bulletproof vest. They don't care if you woman. They don't care if you child. Hate don't got no face, it got a hunger. Because whatever you got, I want some of that. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. I'm broke, so I got to leave you broken. I'll deal with the consequences when my pockets got motion. I'm gonna share a couple more pieces with y'all. That cool? Y'all good?
Yeah. Please.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a new poem. Actually, Silent Night inspired me to do this piece. With one of his pieces that he did, I was like, I might as well do it. Yeah. Sit down for this one. No name. It's new. Still working through it, but here we go. Shut up before I give you something to cry about, said his dad before giving him belt to ass. Called him sassy for showing the emotion that made him human. Gave him anxiety before his 13th birthday like it was an heirloom. Told him to be a man before he allowed him to be a boy. Taught him that manhood meant puffing your chest out, clenching your fists, that to be heard you had to scream to the balcony of your lungs, but all he ever wanted was a hug. To be held, not handled. He wanted the father who put fear in him to one day favor him. To see all he's done in the name of acceptance, just to get him to look his way and say, I'm proud of you, son. I wonder how he could expect him to grow up and be a man when he ain't never seen nobody else be one. Saw the mask he wore outside, but inside he was no Avengers hero. Paying the bills don't prove you showed up. Where was the pride and power to build him up? I wonder how toxic masculinity tasted on his tongue every time he spoke ill over his son, beating principles into him that he never lived by. Like slaves whipped while Massa quoted scripture. What a convenient contradiction. He had a God complex, but his prayers lacked substance. He would say, I'm doing this because I love you. I only hit you to make you better, when he didn't even know what he did to be worse. Corporal punishment causing generational harm, forcing him to repress his emotions because boys don't cry. Called his depression a facade when he was dying inside. Could have got him therapy, but how could he believe in doctors when he never believed in healing still? The little boy looked up to him like a savior, like Captain America, like immigrants look to America, but America ain't never saved nobody. Only sold demoralizing dreams, wrapped a flag around the illusion and called it freedom. Took half-ass accountability for the damages caused his people, same way his father did. This story sounds so familiar. Why his dad got morals like Trump? One black, one white, but the gray area sounds like I take no accountability. Or wait, I love this one. I did the best I could. Well, I'm here to tell you that your best wasn't good enough. You chose to have that child, then stop raising him. Stop lifting him up as high as the sun like the king he is. You planted seeds of systemic trauma, watered them in hypocrisy, and called it love. And love should never be tough unless it's rooted in reasoning. And when your boy grew, you acted like his trauma had nothing to do with you. He never asked for much, just a genuine apology that was owed to him, in a relationship with his father that could read like an ode to him. My point is, you resemble power and control like politics, but that never made you a leader. And the title don't make you worthy of his forgiveness either.
I'm gonna do 2 more pieces and get out y'all way.
You say get out the way like that.
Right? Word, heard you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. In the spirit of doing the poem from Temple's. All right. So I have this roommate.
And she isn't very cleanly. Her conversations sound like clutter corroding the inside of my sacred space. I have no room to breathe. Her personality is like nails on a chalkboard, an agonizing experience. She is not the kind of person I would be friends with, but somehow she is living with me rent-free. She brought a U-Haul of unhealthy habits. For months I observed her actions, not holding her weight, but weighing heavily on my conscience. Punching hollow holes in the walls of my heart, leaving me to patch them up with toxicity. Painting over the pain as if that is going to make them go away. She has had a seat at my table but brought nothing to it. I watched her eat a feast prepared by me, and when she was done, she didn't even put a dish in the sink. I really don't like her, but I'm struggling to evict my attachment to her. I've allowed her to store and hoard all of the things she is not willing to let go. I can barely walk into my own home without tripping over trinkets of trauma. The things she has said to me are baskets of dirty laundry, an unbearable aroma. No matter how much I clean with bleach, the stains like you are not worthy are left behind. You are not loved or capable of being loved. You are not as great as you think you are. The world will be better off without you. Everyone will hurt you and leave you with the pieces to mend you, victim. Every person you meet is just a repeat of who you've known before, and you probably deserve it. God is not coming to save you or heal you. They left because you are the problem. You are the one who needs a fixing. You cannot keep a woman or a friend. Get that through your thick head. The door to my subconscious mind has been left wide open for anyone looking to pile baggage into my boggled brain at no charge, because I have been doing this to myself for far too long. And every time the rent is due, I've always been short on speaking life over me, and I've given up half of me to be whole for somebody else. I've never measured up to the perfection I place on myself, the grace I am slow to give, to how great of a human I've always been. But I'm tired of the noise complaints, so I'm cleaning up this empty space. And I guess you could say it's safe to say that this tenant will not be renewing their lease or receiving their security deposit, because I am the landlord of my mind, and I'm finally taking my power back. All right. Maybe we'll end with a love poem.
Hey.
Why not? Nah, I changed my mind.
Thank you.
It's not a love poem, but it kind of connects to the art project. It is like, I've been through a debacle of dating series, like just insane amount of things that you can think about dealing with women, and but really, I could
Rewind. I'm sorry. I thought that was a poem.
I could put a lot of I could put a lot on the women that I've dated, but really, I really feel like we date people based on how we feel about ourselves.
Facts.
Truly. Because we can have a facade and we can be confident on the outside, but really when it comes to the self-worth thing, and that's something that I work through a lot, just my inner child issues of just not feeling worthy. So I think that I picked women who saw that vulnerability, who saw that as an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it falls on me it fell on me to love myself and to choose better in that. So this poem is kind of funny, but it got a point to it. All right. There was Brenda, Letitia. What's it called? Wait, let me start over. It's called Fuck Your Favorite Color.
Yeah, we needed that.
There was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia. Dawn, LaShawn, Inez,
And Alicia.
exactly. In other words, I have ran out of names for talking stages and words for journal pages, straight girl curious phases. So no disrespect, love, but I don't care about your favorite color or the fact that you like to eat at Benihana's. I'm more concerned about how you wear your trauma. Is it fashionable, original? Do you tuck it in or leave it out? Are you a middle part bust down, bob wearing baddie? Do you dress it up to make me go down? Hiding the facts and fucking that you just another pretty face that can't communicate, relate, educate, or mentally stimulate. But she can learn, right? Cause she fine, right? See, there I go, playing Captain Save-A-Hole, having hope that I can mold a woman into a monarch or a Mona Lisa. That art project can't teach me nothing, huh? They say, AG, put down the paint, we already know that fate. Yeah, maybe it's time I manifest the love I desire and stop connecting with souls to feel roles, because when they rise, they don't even give you a slice of the pie. And this is not a bakery, and women are not pastries, although they settle a sweet tooth a time or two, the score is never equal. I am 0 for 4 at the free throw line without adjusting my posture or tucking my elbow. My form has been fixated on fouls, and this ain't love in basketball, so there ain't no playing with this heart or for this heart. So if you're just a girl, fuck out of my face. That's the bare minimum. It ain't enough for me. I need more than the soft life you pretend to live, baby girl. Where is your substance? Where is your depth? Is it hidden in the crevices of your Coach bags? Is your identity reduced to clothing tags? What do you look like truly naked? Without the mask and IG fans. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As a recovering fixer, I ponder about it. But I've grown beyond making women my assignment, because you will become a poem before you become a problem for me. So to the girl, because you will become a poem. You will become a poem before you become a problem for me. So to the girl in my DMs who appears to have it all together, I see you. And there will come a day where lights won't fulfill you, where the high you're chasing will soon die out, or you will have to rest in the healing that you usually run from. But at least while you're running, you'll look good doing it. I appreciate y'all. Did I keep y'all too long? If y'all would like to follow me on Instagram at artisticgenius._ at artisticgenius._ and I also, like I said, I host a poetry show called Say Word Wednesdays in Columbus every third Wednesday of the month. Always looking for poets to feature, so if you're ever in the Columbus area, yeah, please get with me because we got a lot of shows coming up. All right, thank y'all.
I told you those features were incredible. Let's give it up one more time for Artistic Genius. We're going to do our last break of the night, and then currently I think we have 2 more on the open mic list. If you're here since then or change your mind, make sure you see me or sign up on the list. So a couple more open mic features in just a couple minutes, and then our last feature of the night. It's going to be just as incredible, so please stick around. But take a few minutes. I need to change the battery in my camera, get a drink, get a refill, hear a little more music from Verb. We'll be right back.
Almost about where I was going. I've been driving out and smoking. Almost about what I was doing. Almost about what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? Now I'm just riding through the city.
All right, y'all. I'll be taking over for the rest of the night. Fuck Keith. No, I'm just playing. Hey, man, make some noise for all of our features that have touched the stage tonight and all of my poets. So Keith asked me to do an introduction because he didn't want to seem like, narcissistic by just like, all right, so next open mic poet is me. I'm going to do a poem about poetry and stuff. So to introduce Keith it's a daunting task. Like, I don't understand, like, I don't believe a lot of people believe that he doesn't believe how believed in he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a talented gentleman. The first time I saw him was at our event. And it was the simplicity of his complexity that was like, wow. Like, that's dope. And then I came down here. Was that at our event where you did the... No, that was down here.
The contrapuntal?
Yeah, the contrapuntal. He taught me something. And I fucking love people that teach me stuff. Like, I love teachers. And he is a teacher. And it's also Teacher Appreciation Week. So give it up for the teachers. Our feature, one of our features is also a teacher. So give it up for the teachers. Silent Night is a teacher too. That's what I'm talking about. My mama was a teacher for 33 years. But, I like Verb. He love that horn. That horn is his shit. But Keith is truly a talent that is underutilized in this city. I'm gonna be honest with you. He is a phenomenal. If you have ever thought about trying to write a poem, perform a poem, and you know him and you don't speak to him, you are doing yourself an injustice. I've heard him critique poets in front of poets in a way that made me want to be a better poet. So I need you guys to make a lot of noise for your regular host and your next open mic poet. Give it up for Angry Kyle, aka Keith Allison.
I did not expect that. I thought I was just like, call me up to the mic. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very touching. I appreciate that. I am releasing my second spoken word album right here in this theater, May 23rd, so a couple weeks from now. Love to have you here. I'll be doing 10 of the tracks that night, and then Angie Hayes, who produced the album, is going to be here with her band and a choir. It's going to be an amazing night. So yeah, I'd love to have you here for that. I'll do one piece, and then we have one more for the open mic as well. You perform under Angry Cow Poetry, and you get a lot of pushback. I mean, it's yeah, right? It's one thing to just do what we do to animals, and it's another thing with the hypocrisy of like, oh, they're happy cows, which is how we got to Angry Cow Poetry, is we needed that alternate to this myth of they're happy that we take their babies and slaughter them. Wouldn't everybody be? And so just like some honesty in what we do in our system. So this one was a response to Instagram, to a rancher that reached out, tagged me after seeing some of my stuff. I'm not quite sure how, but so I'll do this piece, and then I will bring up one more poet to finish the open mic, and then our feature. When you kill cows yet are offended to be perceived as a killer. To the rancher who tagged me in his video asking if his cows looked unhappy, I responded, show me a video of their slaughter and we'll see. Footage never arriving. An abusive boyfriend can always find a photo of her smile. Can always pick the moments when she doesn't see the danger in his eyes, the times when his touch is gentle, the calms before the storm. The image conveniently framed to crop out the terror. Those moments of trust when the victim doesn't yet know your plans for their flesh. An illusion of happiness, easily digested. A photo of the wall before the fist smashes the plaster. A photo of the cow before the bolt smashes the brain. Before the screams. Before the blood. Before the silence. We all knew was coming. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. Come back May 23rd and you'll get new things off the new album. Please welcome next to the open mic, Raw-Duality.
All right, so first time being on a stage for this.
Yeah. All right. Woo.
Name's Raw-Duality, personal name Jamel Cook. So nice to meet you all.
I'll tell you about that.
Some of the people.
I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm still
Your
not.
stage name is for stage.
You're right. I'm still fairly new to this. So
You do you.
So the last one I did, the title of this one is Raw. It was kind of a play on my poetry alias. Perception was key with you. Life has a funny way of shaping you. You came from separation anxiety. Self-worth was born from loneliness and depravity. I've grown up with you, learning to view others' worlds through the scope of you. You gave me the gift of empathy, then taught me the pain of its opposing apathetic tendencies. 3 decades we've experienced this world from within our shared cell, chasing balance between moments of heaven within cycles of hell. We discovered a sense of self-reverence, found beauty in a struggle for self-repair, acknowledgement, and penitence. You've guided me through my worst, Imposter syndrome and doubt you saw first. You gave it a safe place to hurt. Told me to weep before gritting my teeth to get back to the work. Shadow work manifested in my shadow's worth. Breathing perspective to my inner world, to outward views as I grasp at truths. Of my own dualities, sanity, anomaly of origins, preaching facades of my middle namesake, vices of this earthly vestige laid, foundation to take shape. Teaching me clarity and self-worth beyond the physical scope, a concept no shallow waters could ever hold. My greatest perception of death and hope in this cycle of life I found in twilight. The greatest muse I've ever known was born in my perception of the rawness of life. The poem.
All right.
Let's give it up for Raw-Duality. Are you all ready to close this night out with a bang? Yeah! All right. I honestly don't know where we met because the event I most picture from you up to that point in time, I knew you when I walked in the door. So I can't remember. I can't play. Sometimes I can play, sometimes I can't. But I saw Tory at a slam, Lyrical Boundary, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, Lyrical Boundary Slam. And Tory won the whole fucking thing. And that was loaded with intense, amazing poets in that. It was not an easy battle. So yeah, please, let's welcome to stage our last feature for the evening, Tory.
Hey y'all, so yeah, I'm Tory. I know the first time I just came up here and spit, but so I've been doing poetry for a minute now, and I really love it. I feel like my poetry explores themes such as womanhood, childhood, coming to age, trauma, love, all those great things. So hopefully I'll give y'all a good set.
Oh yeah.
You will.
Mm-hmm.
The house that raised me was made of brick. Its body, the same red as autumn leaves, it carried the same strength my mama keeps locked in her chest. That house was her nest and she never let it go empty. Always making sure her babies knew they had a place to lay their head. That house taught me the definition of home. My mama's holiday traditions filled the house with joy. A Thanksgiving dinner bought with food stamps. Our Christmas tree bought at the dollar store. We always dye eggs on Easter, but y'all, somehow we always miss church. Still, our house knew God, even if we ain't know a preacher. Our house knew celebration when the 4th of July made a festival of our backyard. Drunk uncles, loud aunties, line dancing, shooting hoop, and somewhere there's a cousin who's pissed because his shirt got dirty from barbecue. See, it's something godlike about a mother making holidays matter even when poverty lived at her front door, because poverty be creeping, making sure it's sleeping under the same roof as black folk, but still we knew comfort. Our house knew the language of black love and black trauma. It knew the heaviness of our hunger when my mama's food stamps ain't last until the end of the month. It knew the way spirits lingered when my family sometimes got too drunk. That house sometimes knew us better than we knew ourselves. Never knew bricks and walls could become a relative. But that house ain't just hold our furniture, it held our grief. It watched us make a way out of no way with little relief, but still we knew love. Until one cold autumn afternoon, when the leaves were changing from orange to gray, my ears cried at the sound of the landlord saying rent ain't been paid. For the first time, I was about to know what it felt like to lose a close relative, to lose something that sometimes knew me and my family better than we knew ourselves because of poverty. A slow storm with little relief. Poverty don't care about our Thanksgiving dinner. Poverty laughs at our dollar store Christmas tree. And poverty never gave my mama a car so we can get to church on Easter. But still, we knew God. Still, we knew how to make a festival of our backyard. Still, we knew family. And now, we knew homelessness. I learned just how much a person could love a house. And I still believe that house loves me back just the same. It keeps memories of my adolescence in the back of its brain. It knows our family secrets. It remembers the vibration of our love. And it mourns our absence the same way I mourned the protection I felt when I lived at 4835 Green Road. and got my hair done today. After 3 long days of being glued to my bed, tears evaporated into my sheets. I don't remember all the things that made me cry, but I remember the taste of the tears flowing from my cheeks back into my mouth. This must be what it feels like to swallow your own sorrow. I got up around 12. She told me to be there by 2. So I left the depression sitting on my nightstand, stuffed the anxiety in my bathroom cabinet, ignored them dirty dishes in the sink. See, I come from a long line of black women who have learned how to put makeup over their scars and lipstick over sadness. They've mastered how to hold in their madness and silence their pain. So who am I to not do the same? I follow blindly in their footsteps, duplicating strength found in my ancestors' hips. I stand tall, learning how to walk like them, head held high with a smile painted on my face as I went and got my hair done today. This easy gesture, this small remedy that I so desperately need when I need to make up for the fact that my depression has come back because I was told pretty girls don't cry, but that's a lie. We really just cry alone, locked in our rooms, feeling like a caged bird with no wings, still trying to find the reason Maya Angelou said she knows why we sing. In the meantime, I hold my real feelings on the tip of my tongue because I know if I tell someone how I truly feel, the salt water will come crawling back down my face and I will be forced to face the depression that I left on the nightstand or the anxiety that I stuffed in the bathroom cabinet, and I can't face her. See, I don't know what it's like to die, but I know what it's like to wish for a rebirth. To wish I didn't regret letting certain men lay inside of me. To wish I didn't sometimes hate the own sight of my body. To wish I believed I was worthy of all good things when today I felt like nothing and I needed to feel something. So I went and got my hair done today. Had small talk with my hairdresser who's known me since I was 16, exchanged hugs and small glances, and I'm hoping she doesn't notice anything different about me, hoping she doesn't notice the dry tears on my left cheek or the sadness beneath my eyes as she tells me to sit. And after she washes my hair, she begins to sew the weave in stitch by stitch and appeasing my sadness. She says, "Ooh, girl, you gon' like this." And I smile, trusting her talents and feeling love run from her hands back into my head, and I needed that. I needed this like a bee in need of honey or a child in need of mother or an insecurity in need of love. And when I walk out of her salon, I hear compliments coming from the tongues of fast-talking men on the street and pretty women, and I begin to think it's working. They can't see the real me, and I too begin to believe this facade until I walk back into my apartment and see the depression sitting right where I left it. The anxiety is creeping out the bathroom cabinet. Damn, I really haven't learned how to hold in my madness, and I begin to cry because it's hard. As I tried, I still don't feel as good as I look. Period. Okay, I'm gonna read some stuff from my book that's not out yet, so don't ask for it. But the book release will be in November, so come see me. Woo! This one is called Father Time. It's pretty short. My father has big hands, large enough to love all 12 of his kids, calluses wrapped around the rims of his knuckles, living proof that he worked hard to make sure all his kids knew each other. All his kids knew the sound of his love. All his kids knew the comfort of his smile. My father had a heartbeat specifically made for each child, a way to show he had no favorites. His love knew no limits, but he always fell short when it came to loving women. My father, unfortunately, made a home in every bed he laid in, made a child with every woman he crawled inside. All my siblings know the faint sound of his footsteps walking away, heading to another home where a different child lays. We know the sting of his "I love you" said directly after his goodbye. We've tried to ignore the tears that fall down our mother's eyes when they realize even his love for us wasn't enough to keep him for herself. In the meantime, we wait by the window to hear the sound of his truck, feel the footsteps of his feet, feel the warmth of his love, see the comfort in his smile, hoping this time maybe he give us a piece of forever and not just, I'm gonna stay for a little while. I'm gonna do one more poem for y'all on the other way.
That's it? You ain't nobody's way.
Keith, I love you. Thank you.
Love you too.
Much like Christian did, his most vulnerable piece live. This is my most vulnerable piece, and I'm gonna get through it though. She had a monster under her bed. Something like a boogeyman in her closet prayed for a night like almost had the courage to steal one. Because she thought that if she could get rid of the dark, that would mean the monsters have nowhere to hide. Because she knew every time she prayed the words, now I lay me down to sleep, he would end up in her sheets. She wants to scream. She is not a woman enough for him, her skin much too soft, and she's much too afraid of the dark and the parts of her that he wants to touch. She hasn't even learned how to use, how to own, how to keep, how to protect from men like him. She wasn't woman enough for him. But he preys on the weak, has a feast with her fears. And the next morning, when the sun shines for him but not for her, she sees him sitting upright in the kitchen, dressed in his manly disguise, but she can see the monster in his eyes. It's him. She smells the venom on his breath, sees the scales beneath his skin. She wants to scream, "Monster! Mama, there's a monster in our kitchen." But her mother, too busy, making the monster breakfast while he laughs, his monstrous laugh, as if he doesn't see her, doesn't see the bruises he left on her skin. She squints her eyes tight, trying not to remember how he devoured her innocence last night, because this is what monsters do. They hide amongst us in the day, hunting out their prey, seeing which girl has the prettiest smile and the loudest laugh, so he can end up in her sheets, taking all the woman she will one day be away, ripping the pretty right off her skin, forcing his way into parts she didn't even know she had. And when he's done, when he's finished, when he's relieved, she realizes she can't hear the sweet echo of her laugh. And her smile got a little bit smaller, and now she has secrets, and she's forced to keep them. She whispers to the inside of her skin, "Don't tell anyone about the bruises he left on my legs, his sins on my skin, cleaned himself off with my shirt, and don't tell anyone. You know what it feels like to have your body be explored by a man, and it hurts." She wasn't woman enough for him. She still asked for Barbies on Christmas, still colored outside the lines, still had a bike she loved to ride. See, she was no woman at all. But one day, when her Barbies no longer silence her cries, when she learns how to color inside the lines, when she lays with the man she really loves but can only think about the man that touched her thighs, she will decide to walk into her first day of therapy. And the nice lady will politely ask, "Well, tell me what your childhood was like." And she'll say, "I had a monster under my bed. Something like a boogeyman in my closet. I prayed for a night like, I almost had the courage to steal one. Because every time I prayed the words, 'Now I lay me down to sleep,' he would end up in my sheets." Thank you. You can find me on Instagram at only1Tory. My name is spelled with a Y, so everything is spelled out. ONLYONETRRY. Thank you.
That was one of the pieces she won with. That was the one that was just, holy shit. Powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Did you have a good night? Oh. Yeah. All right, let's give it up for the Rialto Theater, Seth Bale, Nate Bale. They've been doing this for 10 years. They are artists supporting artists. That's why they do this. They're both band members. They're an awesome band named Ashes. They're playing this month too. Let's give it up for DJ Bird. Please give it up for Poetry Feen for taking photos and a fantastic introduction. Allison. Appreciate that. Everyone who touched the open mic, appreciate all of your voices. Give it up for everyone in the room bringing that energy, whether you touch the mic or not. And last and most importantly, let's give it up one more time for our three amazing features, Artistic Genius, Silent Night, and Tory. We will be back often in the next couple months, but always the first Wednesday of every month. I'd love to have you back anytime it works. Thanks so much, y'all.